Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host today, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified business and executive coach. I own Aspire Action Coach based here in the lovely Dayton, Ohio area. We're thrilled to have viewers join us today. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You can receive future messages as well. And today, I'm thrilled to have Kim Brown with us. Kim is a co-owner and also the VP of Sales and Marketing for Gerstner Sons. So they are a historic company, been around since 1906. That's right, 1906, a fourth generation family run business. We don't find many of these in our society these days. So an impressive story and really renowned for a unique product. So they make wood chests and cases. If you've ever have somebody who's great with tools, they love to have what Gerstner and Sons makes as storage for their precious tools and other things in their lives as well. So with that, Kim Brown, we're thrilled to have you join us. Take a minute, introduce yourself, and share a little bit about your business.
My name is Kim Brown, as he said, and I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing with Gerstner Sons. Harry Gerstner was my great-grandfather, so I'm fourth generation of this business, family owned and operated almost 120 years now. So we manufacture wooden tool chests and cases and jewelry chests, gun cases, hobby cases. We make kind of a little bit of something for everybody. Basically, if you've got stuff that needs to be organized, we've got the place to organize it. So that's kind of what we do. We do some custom work also. We do OEM business as well. So people give us projects to quote. So we not only make our own items, but we also do custom contract work for other people also. And I also have an import division. So we're very busy at Gerstner.
Maybe take a minute, build upon that. Who are some of your target customers here?
I would say our target customers typically tend to be people that have hobbies, people that do gunsmithing, or people that do fly tying, people that do knife collections or collect watches or jewelry. It tends to be a person that has hobbies and likes to devote time to hobbies, and usually has things that they collect, whether it's medals or trophies or some sort of knickknacks as you go through life, and like to be able to, I would say, buy something and have it last. These are heirloom quality products that we make, and when you make them once, they typically tend to be passed down to the next generation. I've heard of kids, fighting over wills, who gets grandpa's chest. So it's somebody that would like to, buy something once and not have to buy it over and over and over again. I know we live in kind of a throwaway society, but this is something that's going to stand the test of time.
Take a minute and share a little bit about your role as VP of Sales and Marketing. Kind of what's your focus? What's the day in the life like for you?
I work with our dealer network. So I'm the person that would go out and find a catalog or a target store or something to be able to go after. And then I liaise with the dealers. I work all the way from finding the accounts to setting up the accounts to managing the accounts. So my day is fairly packed with trying to reach out to new dealers, try and form partnerships. We have a couple of catalogs that we work very well with. Garrett Wade is one of them. A.G. Russell is another one of them. We have Sporty's Preferred Living. They're actually out of Batavia, right here in Ohio also. So there's several partners that we have that we work with, and then we have some online resellers as well. So I've got lots to do with that portion of it. And then our import division, I also I run the start to finish of that. So I do all the logistics for that and make sure that we have product and from start to finish. So I kind of have a bunch of different focuses. So the day in life of, what do I focus on today and now, and what am I going to tackle today tends to run into about 20 different projects at once. So
maybe go a little bit deeper again on your product line. What makes you unique? I think for the audience to get some perspective, they check out your website. But what separates you from competitors, and do you even truly have competitors based on what you're building?
Well, we are unique, and we're the only ones in the United States doing exactly what we do. So manufacturing hardwood chests and cases. The last of our other wood manufacture of tool chests or chests like we do died out in about the 1960s. So our competitors today would be somebody choosing to use a metal or a plastic toolbox versus a wood one. So it's just, our competition is really just choice of other things that aren't very expensive, to put your items in and just, put it in there and sort of forget it, rather than kind of show it off or have it as part of your lifestyle. So we're kind of a lifestyle product, I guess I would say.
Yeah. So building upon that, then how does that then drive your marketing or how you position yourself? Because you're right, you're at a different price point than those other kind of plastic and other metal items as well.
We are. That's why we focus on the heirloom quality of it. We focus on, this is really something truly that's going to last. I mean, this item with a little bit of care is going to outlast you. That's why we have a refinishing department also, because the boxes last so long that we'll see them back for a refinish every, I don't know, 40 or 60 years or so. I mean, you can't drive a car for that long. I mean, typically you're probably not living in the same house for that long, so these things kind of stand the test of time. So it's really kind of the story about, here's something that you can purchase and then that you can gift to a friend. We have one of the most popular wedding or housewarming gifts that we as a family have tended to do for friends and stuff, is we would take one of our smaller tool chests and fill it full of like starter tools and give it to a newlywed couple or something like that. And I've had people that will tell me 20, 30 years later, I don't remember everything that I got for my wedding that day, but boy, I still have that tool chest, so it's just, it really is. It's a lifestyle type thing. I mean, it's a good example would be like Rolex. Everybody knows what a Rolex is. They would aspire to own a Rolex, but people have a choice to buy a watch or they can buy a Rolex. So people have a choice to buy just any old tool chest, or they can buy a Gerstner.
With that positioning in mind, then what are the marketing channels then you put the most focus in, right?
We would put the most focus in partnering with dealers, I would say. They do a better job of getting out the word to their customers. So if we partner with a mail order magazine, we used to be in Brookstone. We've been in Hammacher Schlemmer before. If we would go with somebody like Sharper Image, say, they have a certain clientele that basically fits within our demographics. So that's who we would like to partner with. We do a lot of B2C also. So direct to consumer, we've got our own website, and then we do some trade shows that we'll go to, but they're mainly to find other dealers to get the word out. And something that we've been doing recently, and we're trying to put a stronger focus on, is social media. So we're starting an affiliate program so that we are going to see if we can't leverage some of the micro influencers out there and influencers and see if we can't get the word out. We've had in the past several celebrities and past presidents own our products, and so I don't see why not. Word of mouth is basically our best advertising. It can't be beat. Once somebody sees one of these in person and says, God, these are so cool. I didn't know this company was still around. I didn't know they were still in business. And yep, we're still here, but getting the word out, that's the biggest thing.
All right. Is there a particular social media channel do you think is going to be most fruitful for you?
Facebook has been fairly good at getting the message out, but I'm seeing, I would see more growth with Instagram and even YouTube. The Instagram, I've played around with this a little bit. I've sort of learned, I'm still learning about Instagram, but a bunch of people have coached me, and these are people that actually are influencers, on kind of what to do with Instagram. And it's been kind of a learning process, but on Instagram, if you get out more of the story, and that I think is what people need to know more so of Gerstner, not just, hey, they make those fancy wood boxes. It's really, what is a Gerstner? I mean, we have a long history. So showing in little short clips and little short videos the interior process and how we've been in the same building since 1914. And we've built that. We haven't moved. We've added on. You can go through our front lobby that's like a time capsule of some of the boxes that we've made, all the way back to some of the items we have in our lobby are from the teens. So you can see the progression of what Gerstner has built over the years, some of the different oddities that we've tried. So
118 years in, obviously a story of right, tremendous twists, turns, and pivots. So, what are some in the recent years for you've experienced of kind of major changes and pivots that you've had to take the business through?
Um, I would say with the changeover of I would say 80% of our sales used to go to industrial shops. And now I would say 80% of our sales really go to home hobbyists. So we've kind of had to pivot in how we market. We've had to pivot in some of the items that we make because we used to make just tool chests. I mean, that it was just used for a tool chest. And then we'd have a customer and say, hey, I don't use this for tools. I use this for my knife collection. And we thought, oh, what a good idea. So let's put in some inserts in some of the drawers to help out with collections. And then somebody else would say, hey, my wife stole mine for for a jewelry chest. Can't you make a jewelry chest specifically for that? So then we make jewelry chests where you can hang necklaces and you can have little bangle drawers and earring compartments. And then people will say, I take mine to the range and, I go shooting. So I need shooting supplies. I need a place to put, all of my little patches and my cleaning rods and my glasses and ear protection and stuff when I go out. So we'll build a gun case for people. So it's really been sort of customer driven as far as what we make. And then we also do OEM manufacturing. So we will private label brand for people as well. And I don't think people are aware that we do that also. We've got a couple of CNCs and their time is pretty well booked out for some of these projects. So we're quite versatile in what we do. So
Great. Hey, thank you for sharing that. Right. Yeah, major change, pivot over time, as you mentioned, going from more of an industrial manufacturing focus to direct to consumer almost. Right? So, what's the current challenge you guys have on the horizon?
I think the current challenge is really just the education that Gerstner is still here. Trying to get it into a little bit a younger demographics. I see trends of it goes in tides. I see some of our younger generation actually getting interested in spending some money a little more upfront to get something that they don't have to replace. So that seems to be a little bit of a trend of some of the younger people these days, which I'm encouraged by. So educating people, it has been our biggest challenge. So social media and kind of breaking out into that and becoming more of a household name or a brand that somebody can recognize outside of our traditional areas of tool and die and things like that. That's probably our biggest challenge right now.
Okay. Hence the social media work that you're looking to do, right? To get direct to consumers
and podcasts and
that's right.
Anywhere where I can get the word out.
So as you think, hey, that's the current challenge, but what's your longer term vision for the business, you and your partners as other owners?
I would say that I would like to still see it, in the family when I'm eventually out of it. I'd like to have somebody continue on the legacy. And I'd like to see at the heart of it, we're still basically building a box where it has, a place for everything and everything in its place. At the end of the day, we're helping people organize stuff, whether it's, little trinkets of treasures or whether it's the Hope Diamond or whatever. It's functional art. So it's just something that I think is timeless. It's been timeless. I mean, nearly 120 years, and I'd love to see it go another 100 or so. Okay. It's just going to take, creativity and passion to keep it going.
So we were talking before we started here a little bit about the team. Maybe share a little bit around the dynamics with your team, especially in a family-run business. And then what have been some of your keys to retaining the top talent and growing and developing folks?
We've got a good group of people right now. Each of us brings to the table something different and creative as far as front office. I do work with my brother. My mom does our accounting and stuff. So my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, also works there at this point. So the family dynamic is a little interesting, but and sometimes we all have very strong and individual opinions on things. So meetings can be fun. But we have some other people also. I've got a great creative director. Basically, he manages our marketing. He's our director of marketing. And then I've got my vice president of operations, who is I mean, he's a godsend. It's one of those, we do designing and we tell him, okay, this is what we want to design. Now you kind of need to turn it into the nuts and bolts of the deal. And all of us, when we get together in our weekly meetings and stuff, we bounce ideas off of each other. We constantly are saying, okay, here's an area I'm struggling in. And, does anybody else have an idea on how I can help, get over this next little hurdle? So we get together and we bounce ideas and we come to decisions on how we're doing things, and we're all marching together as a team. So it's family owned, but very much team driven. So
any challenges in recent years with kind of retaining? Obviously, you got a family dynamic there, but within the folks on the floor, I imagine you got a lot of folks who are like craftsmen, craftspeople, and what they're doing and building these.
we don't have a ton of turnover. It's people get to balance, a home life with a work life. It's just we want our people to be well-rounded and balanced and stuff. So, we have a pretty good, personal time off plan. If people need time, just, notify us. Everybody can put what's going on the HR calendar. It's a small business. So people are cross-trained over several different areas. But I mean, when we lose somebody, it's a challenge finding somebody else. I mean, the biggest challenge, as with any manufacturer, is getting people to commit to showing up 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week on a regular basis. So, I mean, that's half the battle. But yes, we do have a lot of people that have a ton of skill. Each of our items are handmade in a certain to a certain point. Machinery can only help you so far. And then, for instance, all of our drawers to our chests are individually hand fit to the particular chest that it goes to. So as it goes through the production process, we have that attention to detail. So people can get a little carried away and in the pride with what they're doing with the workmanship and stuff. So we like that. We're definitely all about quality. So and we've got a great group of people right now. So
okay, great. So a lot of kind of early stage entrepreneurs watch this podcast. So we're going to look up to somebody who's been in the business for a while, got a long tradition business here as well. So what would you like to share some of the keys to success as an entrepreneur to those who maybe, a year or two into their journey?
I would make sure that if you're starting a business and you want to do something, make sure it's something that you're super passionate about and that you really love. Because if you're doing something that you really love, it's not a job. It's a passion. So whatever that happens to be, whether you're good with your hands and you create something, whether you've got an idea and you market it to people, whether you're a nuts and bolts, programmer, whatever it is, do something that you love and that you can envision yourself doing 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road and still loving. So that's kind of the key. And then make sure that you balance your life. Your life can't be about work all the time. I mean, that's advice I sometimes don't take because being a family member, I mean, it's hard to balance. I mean, I work with our international division, so I get, phone calls at 10 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, from overseas. And it just, it's, you have to really get a strong balance of that work and home life. But that's an important thing. And make sure that your spouse, if you're not yet married, is kind of on board with whatever crazy hours and work you decide to do.
Yeah, definitely. If they're not in the business, they're still, driven by the business, just like you are as well.
Right. They're going to hear about it anyway.
I'm curious on that key topic around balancing work and life. What are some habits or rituals that you put in place to try to keep that delicate, difficult balance?
Well, I like to play golf. So that's one of those things. I'll schedule a couple of golf trips each year. We've got a group of friends that we go around and travel around and do a different golf trip every single year. We travel together and that's fun. So we try and book that with our friends about a year out. Make sure that nobody has some weird business conflict. But I try and schedule some things that purposely takes me away from concentrating on the business or anything. And I enjoy boating. So that's something that we tend to do. I mean, that's very seasonal thing, but I have hobbies. I have outside interests and hobbies and activities, and our neighborhood that I live in here down in Tennessee, we live on a lake. So, the lake community, it's very easy to go outside and enjoy nature. So we just, my husband owns his own business also. So it's just, you've got to be able to turn it off.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But you have to be very intentional. Like you said, you have to commit to that golf trip or that special, vacation to the lake, get it on the calendar early, block it off, and you just plan around it. Otherwise that time will just slip away.
Right. Do little mini vacations throughout the year too. Take a Monday off every once in a while or a Friday and just do a little mini, even if it's a staycation. Just do little mini things that get your head out of things. So
I'm curious, are there any books that you found meaningful, or other leaders or inspirational speakers that you follow that kind of help keep you charged and keep you fresh?
There's various. I tend to read and write snippets of things. I mean, I was an English major in college, so reading has been sort of my passion about, just little snippets. So from news sources to, if I'm doing research on design for something, I tend to look all over the place. I will call people that I know from other businesses and just kind of bounce ideas off of them. I've got a really close friend out in California, and he can yell at me like nobody's business if I'm not doing something right. But I tend to collaborate with other people and do a little bit of research and stuff versus reading a traditional book per se. I think the last book I read was Traction, but it's about business. So,
good business book. So Kim, as we look to wrap up here today, what are the best ways for folks to stay connected with you and also with H. Gerstner and Son?
We have a website where you can look up all of our items. Actually, we have two. One is Gerstner USA, and that's GERSTNER USA.com. Another way is our international site, which is Gerstner-international.com. That's our import division. If you want to email us, you can reach us at Gerstner@GerstnerUSA.com. Just general questions, or if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at k.brown @GerstnerUSA.com. So.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, to those viewers, I really encourage you to go out, check out the website, really see just the quality, impressive merchandise. And like she said, even on their website, you can see their showroom. She talked about they have items that go back almost a century old there, true heirlooms to check out there. So Kim, as we wrap up here, what are you inspired by today?
I think I'm actually inspired by my husband, and particularly today, because 13 years ago today is when we re-met. So we were in the same 7th grade homeroom together. So, and hadn't seen him since 8th grade. So I was chairing a golf tournament and invited everybody that had gone to our school, and he came up and we just hit it off and clicked, and here we are. So he's amazing. He started his own business. He's got a couple of partners. They're bootstrapping it. They're not getting any outside investors, and they already have people, outside larger companies asking to acquire them. So it's just he's an amazing go-getter. He gives me something to aim for on the golf course too. So
okay.
we play golf together. So we do golf trips and boating, and we're both very competitive. So I would say he keeps me inspired. Yeah. So 2 entrepreneurs, 2 A personalities, in the same household. We keep each other on our toes, but he really, he is a helper in more ways than one. So.
Well, k.brown, thank you for sharing that inspiration, and especially sharing your story of leadership with a 118-year company with a tremendous legacy and unique product line. So thank you for taking that time out. Again, I can't express it enough to the viewers. Go check them out on their website and follow them, and look out for them more on social media, both Facebook, Instagram, and become YouTube as well. So, and again, reminder to our viewers, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do that. And we also always appreciate it when you hit the like button on these episodes as well. So Kim Brown, thank you very much. And thank you all to our viewers. I hope you all have a spectacular day. Thank you.
Thanks.